It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. No, this team can stick it. I can only thank the Cavaliers for finally giving us an ending to this nightmarish season. I mean, where to begin? I guess we can start off with the fact that the Heat got swept by the Cavaliers, and it wasn't a huge surprise that they got swept. What was more, it got funny as time went on, but it was very, just annoying to begin with, was the fact that already down 2-0, we get absolutely smoked in Game 3, set a new franchise record for the worst playoff loss, and then we topped that somehow in Game 4 by losing by almost 60 points. That's one of the worst playoff losses in NBA history. At the time, for just a little bit, we were down by over 60 points, man. What is going on? I have never seen a team play that bad. It was embarrassing, but it just got to the point where it was so funny, and I was cheering for them to be down by 60 so we could at least set a record in this game to mean something, because now it's just a funny and embarrassing way for this season to end. But also, like I said, I cannot thank the Cavs enough for putting a bullet in the back of the head of this season. Now I can finally get this video out and just be done with this entire Miami Heat season, because it's been a rough season. It's been one of the worst in my time being a Heat fan, just from how annoying this team was and all the drama and the horrible basketball on top of it. We'll start off with the positives. Bam Adebayo had a nice stretch post All-Star game. Khalil Ware looked pretty decent as a rookie. Davion Mitchell had a few good moments. Tyler Hero made an all-star game and looked a little better than he had the previous years. And yeah, that's about it. So now to the negatives. Everything else. There was so much regression throughout the roster. Terry Rozier was borderline unplayable going into the end of the year. Jaime Jaquez Jr. regressed. Duncan Robinson was mediocre. Andrew Wiggins, who we got from the Warriors, just turned into a bum as soon as the playoffs started, and even going into the playoffs. Bam Adebayo spent probably more than half of the year looking more like a Emeka Okafor than a guy that was just signed to a max contract extension. Tyler Hero still had plenty of times where his shot selection was horrible and all he could do was just chuck shots, and he still proves that he's not a capable number one option or even a number two option on a contending team. Eric Spoelstra probably had his worst coaching year in Miami, constantly having questionable rotations and coaching choices, and the fact that this team could never seem to hold on to a double-digit lead. It seemed like it was harder for the team to maintain a big lead than just to get there in the first place. That 10-game losing streak that occurred pretty close to after Jimmy Butler got traded, most of those games, the Heat were up by probably 10 to 15 plus points. I mentioned in my big Jimmy documentary that the Heat just love to get up by double digits and then just forget how to play basketball. It just seemed like that was on repeat for every single game this year, especially when they would start off hot. They would just completely forget how to play basketball and just suck the rest of the time. It became routine, like clockwork. The whole will they, won't they with Jimmy Butler getting traded, or is he going to come back to the team? Is he going to go to Phoenix? Is he going to go to Golden State? Is he going to go to Memphis? It was just exhausting and annoying. I'm glad they got the trade done, but then when we got back, ended up being horrible. Like I said before, Andrew Wiggins was mid. The best thing that we got out of trading our superstar player who had led us to 2 finals appearances in 5 years was Davion Mitchell, and that was just because we traded PJ Tucker to the Raptors. And why was Jimmy Butler even in this position in the first place? Well, it's because of the guy that is to blame for a lot of this stuff, Pat Riley. I've said it before, and I will keep saying it again until it happens. I want Pat Riley gone. He has not made a good move for this franchise since trading for Jimmy Butler, and the only reason we got Jimmy Butler before was because he wanted to come here, and the Sixers were willing to deal him away. Every single other big move that the Miami Heat have been rumored in, he has whiffed time after time after time after time. There is no reason to keep this 80-year-old dude as the guy who is controlling our basketball operations. It is just leading to non-stop. The Miami Heat have been sent to the play-in gulag 3 straight years in a row, and if it wasn't for Jimmy Butler going God mode in 2023, we would have seen our team not win a home playoff game in over 3 years. And the team has remained mid for this long because there's just this insistence on constantly running it back with these same rosters who really have not proved anything that would show that they need to be left alone and not tinkered with at all. The only year in this past 5 years where the team had a roster that you could legitimately see going to the finals before the season started was in 2020. That's because they had good role players, but also like good production from their stars. It wasn't completely dependent on these undrafted guys. But ever since 2020, we've flipped the switch up to 11 in dependency on undrafted guys and placing more like weight on guys like Tyler Hero to carry the load, and it's just not working when it's important. Oh, you'll say, but Hero had a bounce back year. He made an all-star game. He looked great in the play-in. Oh, so what? He's an empty calorie scorer. He had 2 big games against the 2 lottery teams in the play-in. The Heat should have never been in the conversation for the play-in or the playoffs. It was ridiculous that a team 8 games under 500 managed to work their way up to a playoff spot. And after this, I am fully in favor of abolishing the play-in, because now we've just gotten swept, we've gotten embarrassed, and we've lost our first round pick this year. So yeah, this season was just a complete dud, and I will keep saying it again. I want Pat Riley gone. Like they mentioned in the TV broadcast, they're like, oh, Pat Riley's looking at the court now. Like, you wonder how this team is going to retool. He's retooled this roster so many times. And I'm thinking, no, he hasn't. And no, he's not going to do anything if he's still in this front office. Because the Heat over the last 3 years, like, what has made you think that Miami is going to change anything? They haven't in 3 years. The last big move they made, besides trading a first-round pick for Terry Rozier, was getting Kyle Lowry from the Raptors in a sign and trade. Like, that's your biggest move. You're trying to win a championship, and that's your biggest move, is to get a 36-year-old point guard and sign him to a $90 million extension, mind you. So while Pat Riley's here, nothing's going to change. They're going to sign Tyler Hero to a max extension. They're going to get in talks with some star only to whiff on it. They'll end up signing some undrafted player and drafting some 23-year-old guy at pick 20 who's going to be good for maybe a year, and then he's going to fall right back down to being mid, just like we did with Jaime Jaquez. It's the same thing over and over again, and we're getting back to that point like we were before we got Jimmy Butler, where the team has no direction. We got no real young pieces to lean on, and we're just spinning the hamster wheel, sometimes making the playoffs and just being a traditional first-round exit. We prioritize and make people untouchable who really deserve to not be untouchable. They need to be traded if there's a good player on the way. And it's, like I said, nothing's going to change unless Pat Riley is gone or he's fired or something needs to change. You can't, no other team would suffer through a 10-game losing streak, a losing record, 6 straight home playoff losses, and back-to-back record-setting playoff blowouts without anything changing. Like, something has to change. A good start, for me at least, would then being to fire Pat Riley, put Eric Spoelstra up where Pat Riley was, and then hire Mike Malone to be our head coach. That's a good start. That's at least something that I can be, a little excited about. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of Heat culture. Every time they mention Heat culture on TV, I want to throw up. It's nothing but something that you can put on a t-shirt and brag about when your team finishes as the 8th seed in the conference. I don't know what other team, especially in a big area like Miami, one of the biggest sports markets, I don't know why they constantly want to market themselves as a team that doesn't have enough, as a team that is about grit and grind. Like, you're in Miami. You're not in Memphis. You can market your city to people to come down here. You can't market Heat culture because not everyone wants to follow Heat culture because it's dumb. And like I said, it's something just to put on a t-shirt. In 2025, you cannot have Heat culture be your main way to win a championship. It needs to end, and the only way it's going to end is if Pat Riley is shipped out. But I'm going to stop here because I really could go on for like 3 hours probably if I really wanted to, but I know nobody's going to want to sit through all that. It's just going to be me bitching for another 3 hours. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to watch the Warriors game and cheer for them. I guess go Warriors now. Go Jimmy Butler. Go win yourself a ring, because you sure as fuck weren't going to win one here with this shitty front office. And this normally would be a time where like I show a positive clip from the end of the video, just something to end the video on a bit of a high note. But no, this team sucks. I'm not going to do that. So, bye.